Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're so well always. So, today I'm actually going to tell you guys a story about a healing clearing that I just did for someone recently. And it relates into a light language tape that I just made. I just made a new light language tape like just then, and now Spirit wants me to talk about it. I made it just then. It's for the home, so it's for the home, for surrounding the surrounding area of your home, like garden, or if you have like paddocks or bushland or anything, and also any other like sheds or other dwellings you might have on your property as well. So it's a very extensive clearing. I did the driveway as well, did everything. So basically, as you guys know, I'm staying on a farm right now, and basically when we first got here, I walked in and I was talking with the owner of the house, and she was showing us the different rooms and stuff. And we got into the front room, the front of the house, and I saw a spirit sitting there in the front sort of like armchair in the front of the room of the house. And I literally did a triple take. Like I looked at it and I looked away, and then I looked again and looked away, and I looked again and I looked away. And it was there like 3 times. So it was like a really strong presence in the home. And as you guys know, I'm a medium, but I don't usually do mediumship work. Like it's not my favorite thing to do. So I was sort of like, okay. And I didn't really know the person I was talking, like the owner of the house, really well. So I was like, I don't know if I should tell her that I saw this spirit or not. So I kind of just like kept my mouth shut, because you never really know where people are at and stuff like that. So anyway, I didn't say anything, but as I started to talk to her more over the course of the next, like while we were still there, she basically said something like, oh, I had someone come and do like an energy clearing for my home the other day, like an energy healing for the home. And I was like, really? So I was like, tick, okay, that means like ding, she's like open to this stuff. So it felt like this green light from Spirit being like, yes, you should tell her. So I was like, wow, that's really interesting, because I actually saw a spirit in your front room. Kind of an intense thing to tell someone, right? Anyway, so I was like, I saw a spirit in your front room. Yeah, I saw a spirit in your front room. It's like a man. He was quite old, like 70s. Anyway, she was like, oh my God, she got like full body shivers, and she was like, that's so crazy, because when the person came to do an energy clearing for the home, they felt this presence in the front room that was like preventing her from like coming into the home, like preventing the person who was doing the healing from coming in. And she like did something to kind of like allow herself in. But anyway, basically we ended up coming here to stay. So we've been staying in this house, and like they have a different kind of property somewhere else, but anyway, they around, but anyway, so this is their home, and we were staying here. And while we were here, the spirit was like really strong, and at first I didn't know what it was or who they were, and like if they were just like needing help to cross over, because sometimes spirits can get kind of like stuck a bit in this dimension, and they like don't want to cross over, or they don't want to like basically they don't want to face like whatever they have to face kind of thing, like during that transition period. And people have different life experiences, and it can make it harder to cross over. But anyway, it's always really a negative thing if a spirit is caught in that in between, like if they're not crossing over to the next realm, because they are usually drawing energy in from the environment. So if you do have a spirit in your home, like it's not usually very good, because it's not where they're meant to reside. Like spirits are meant to kind of move forwards and move onwards in their journey. So if they are trying to hold on to this realm, then they're usually having to draw, like I said, energy from the environment, which could be energy from you, right? Drawing energy from you. So basically, I was like I was like a psychic investigator. I came in, and they were like, can you clear it for us? Because she immediately, like the owner of the home, like she immediately like got bad vibes and like was like, no, I don't like this, I want them cleared. So I was like, okay, I can do that. Like whatever their story is, I'm sure I can help clear them, because I can talk to spirits, right? So anyway, so I was tuning in with spirit, and I was kind of like, what am I feeling kind of thing. And it started to become like a very negative kind of energy. Like me and my partner have been staying here, and the house is like really big, so we're like staying in the back part of the house, and then the front part of the house is like not really inhabited right now. Anyway, so we would go into the front part of the house, and we would get like this really creepy feeling, like, which is where the spirit was, in the front room. You get this really creepy feeling like someone's watching you, or someone's like standing right behind you when you like walk into the kitchen sink. Like there's all of a sudden someone standing right behind you. So it was like really, really intense. And my partner was feeling it too, and he has had mediumship happen before, but it's not like as like common for him. So it was really interesting that he was feeling it like really strongly. So basically we're having this experience with this spirit, and I'm having conversations with the owner, and she's like telling me about different things, like it's personal, so I'm not going to share it, but basically it became really, really evident that this spirit was really, really impacting them and impacting their home and like the business that they run out of their home and things like this. So I was like, okay, it has to go, right? So finally, I feel like it's time. I have my prayer group. As you guys know, I do some of you know, I do a weekly prayer group and light language healing group, and so I got prayers from my group to help like support me to do this energy clearing, because I've done one home clearing before for a friend, because they had a spirit in the front room of their house actually and every time someone would sleep in that room, they would get like nightmares and night terrors and kind of like get attacked astrally and stuff. So it was like very negative, dark. So I cleared that for them, which was really easy. And anyway, so I was kind of like, well, I think I know how to do it. I'm sure I can do it. Anyway, Spirit showed me the way. If you ever are tasked by Spirit, trust that you will know what to do, okay? Because it was actually really easy. So basically, I get the green light from Spirit. I've got all my prayers and support from my group, right? And then I do it. It was like a little while ago now. I went into every single room in the house and I did sage and light language, and I just basically channeled as I went. Like I just channeled the light language as I went. I didn't really know exactly what was going to happen, like what was going to come after the next thing. Like Spirit kind of just showed me like, go into this room now, spend more time in this corner, or do this thing or take this next step. Like it was really like one step after the other was like revealed as necessary, as needed, rather than like Spirit showing me the whole plan and like it being overwhelming. It was like literally one foot after the other. And yeah, so I just went into every room and I cleared it with sage and I cleared it with light language. Every single room, it's a big house. Took me quite a while, and then I went through again with water. So I felt like fire and water needed both. So I went through again with essential oils in water, and then I also was guided to like clean certain areas of the house as well to help engage the energy clearing. So after that, it was really intense, by the way, like doing the clearing. Like I said, Spirit was like with me the whole time. I felt like really activated. Like as soon as I prayed and tuned in with Spirit and I was like, I'm clearing this house, Spirit, please help me. I called upon all my guides and the angels and all this. And it just felt like they really came through like immediately, as they do. But when I was going through the clearing, like I felt a lot of resistance from this negative spirit. Like it kind of felt like the spirit was trying to like intimidate me or scare me, or I don't know, it felt like this interesting like resistance kind of would come up sometimes, where I would be like, I'm doing this clearing, and then there would be like resistance, like pushback. So it was quite interesting. But basically I just felt intuitively like I just had to keep facing my fears and not kind of giving into the fear, you know, like don't give into the fear basically is what I felt. So I just didn't. And basically I felt all of a sudden like the energy clearing kind of came to an end, and I was like, oh, I think it's done. And then I got a really clear sign from Spirit. It's like, yes, it's done. So later that night, my partner was like, wait, did you do that energy clearing already? And I was like, yeah, I did it just like before. And he was like, wait a minute, I can't feel the spirit anymore. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's done. It's actually done. And we were both kind of like surprised at how fast and easy it was. It was like, oh, the spirit's gone. And I've been continuing to pray and like send light and love and stuff to the home. But it's gone, you know. I haven't felt it come back at all. So it's already been impacting the owner's abundance. Like their abundance has already gone up, and it's just like amazing to see how the energy really shifts and changes and how it works. So that's my story. And basically what happened was that I felt really inspired by this experience of doing this home clearing. I felt really like it's a necessary kind of thing. Like people need this. Like we need to be able to clear our homes. We need to be able to clear it from spirits that might be residing there, from the previous owners, from even like imprints that occur on the land. Like for example, if you have a house, right, on a property, like you don't have to own the house, but it will still impact you. If you have a house on a property and then that land was involved in, you know, other things in the past, like there could have been murders or other really like negative, dark things, like this sort of clearing will help to kind of help heal basically that energy. Now, the other thing that happened when I was doing the clearing was I felt the angels came in really strongly. Like, I've been working with angels recently, and I felt really strong divine angelic energy come through, wanting to align that home with the highest good of all, wanting to align this space with something that benefits all beings, all animals, all living, breathing, anything, so that it heals. It's a place of healing, it's a place of sanctuary, it's a place of safety. So I really felt that strongly, and I felt strongly the angels coming through in the healing that I just channeled. So I just channeled a healing that is meant for everyone. So you can access it if you would like to. If you feel guided to, I definitely recommend it, especially after my experience here. Sometimes we don't realize how much we need it. Like, even if you don't have any negative spirits or anything going on in your house, it can still be a really good idea to clear it, especially like at least like once a year or so. And you might also feel, I'm feeling guided to say, you might also feel guided to, like, as you finish the clearing, you could actually like give your home a nice little like spring clean as well, to kind of help bring that healing into the physical realm. So yeah, so I just channeled the healing. It's going to be about 16-ish minutes. You don't have to play it in every room. The way that I channeled it this time was that I channeled and I went into every room myself. So I used the template of this house. It's a really big house. There's a lot of farm, there's a lot of land around it. There's like paddocks, there's like a huge driveway, there's another dwelling, there's sheds. So I was like, this is a pretty good template for pretty much anyone's house would probably fit into this kind of template. Like, as in, you know, most people don't have this much going on, but it's sort of like a lot. So I felt like it was a really good place to base the energy healing from. So I did it kind of based on this healing, on this house, but it's for all homes. Like, it was very much coded for everyone. And I've already cleared this house, so it was kind of like just going through again. But I went into every room individually, like astrally. And then I also did the driveway, I did the land, the garden around, I did the paddocks and the bushland around, and I did sheds and other dwellings on the property as well. So, and I also did animals that reside there. And also a prayer came in to anchor the healing, okay? So it's a prayer from the angels that have channeled it, and yeah, the prayer goes along with the tape, basically. And you are invited to speak it out loud. And yeah, so you can use this if you're moving into a new place. You can use it if you've already lived at a place for a long time. Like I said, if you have a very clear kind of energetic house and you feel like, well, I don't know, like you probably only need to play it one time if you do choose to get it. You probably only need to play it once or about once a year. Like, I'm getting kind of, you could play it more often, but you don't have to. Like, you could play it every kind of like solstice or equinox or something like that, like on those kind of shifting points in the year. Just because it is such a nice prayer and it's such a nice healing, and it's so connected to the angelic energies, so it's always going to like help, you know, and help others as well, help the highest good of all. But if you are living in a house where you're living with negative people, or you're having really a lot of conflict in your relationships in the house, or you don't really vibe with people in your house, or if you know there's a negative spirit in the house, or some kind of negative psychic experiences you've had there, then I would recommend you do it more often. So I would say you play the tape a lot, basically, until you start to feel the energy shift. So as often as you need it. But for example, if you know that there's one room in the house that has negative energy, and everyone that lives, that stays in that house ends up getting nightmares and stuff, you know, I've heard of like a lot of places like this. There was that one I cleared from my friend, and then there was one, this house we used to stay in when we were kids. We always thought one of the rooms was haunted, probably because it was. Looking back, it definitely was. So anyway, if you have a room like that where like everyone knows that this one's haunted or there's negative energy here, then definitely play the tape on repeat in that room. Like, I would leave it on repeat all night kind of thing, because it's really going to help kind of like layer it. And like I said, you could just play it like every day for a month or less if it's not as big of a clearing. It depends on how much you're dealing with, basically. Now, if you're traveling, because like I'm traveling right now a bit, so I understand. If you're traveling and you're going to many new locations, then this is a great tool and resource to use, because you can use it to kind of clear the energy when you arrive at a new place, and wherever it is, hotel and anything, because places like that where there's a lot of transitory like energy, people going in and out, it can accumulate a lot of astral energy. So you probably would be a good idea to play it as you travel, as you go. So yeah, so the other thing is you can just play it in one room. Like I said, you don't have to play it in every single room. You can, if you feel guided to, then please do. But in terms of like, I really wanted to make this basically the easiest thing to use. So it's like not, not like a huge hassle to have to use it and utilize the energy for it. It's like, actually it's meant to be really easy and very much guided and helped along by the angels. So yeah, so I think that is pretty much all that I have to say about the tape. So if you're interested in checking it out, then I'll link all the information below. And I'm also keen to hear about your stories of any kind of like spirits or poltergeists or negative entities or anything that you might have had experience with, or mediumship stuff. And yeah, I just love hearing from you guys. So I hope you're well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.